Hey friends, how you doing this morning? So what I've got here for you is a deep set of questions, because during the Samapana Retreat, which I was, hi darling, that I was teaching throughout the duration of June, I actually had a very advanced bunch of students, which was actually amazing. And that I was given like a lot of sideline questions, and I said I'd write them all down and that I'd make a YouTube and Periscope video of it. And so I'm going to quickly put out the questions that they asked, and I'm going to answer them through this video clip. So thanks for joining, thanks for coming along. This is all about the esoterica, the metaphysics. I'm Helen Christodoulou. I am your intuitive consultant and transformation coach. Here we go. So one of the first questions are, can consciousness be expanded or changed at the level of source? So we're talking about what we call God, or the primary source directive. Can this thing actually be expanded or changed? And the answer to that question, in fact, is yes. Because everything that happens here on the physical domain is always upgrading primary source also. So even though primary source is the most perfect aspect of the cosmos and the true reality, or the realm of the real that there is, thanks for the hearts, I do appreciate that. It's actually coming into physical manifestation in order to upgrade itself. So the answer to that question is yes. Our next question was, are new souls made in the reincarnation matrix? So those of you who don't know much about the reincarnation matrix, I invite you to go back to my YouTube channel and explore some of that to see what it's really about. But the answer to that is also yes, it's possible. And why is that possible exactly? How do they recruit new souls into the reincarnation cycle? Well, a simple analogy for that, so that we can understand it, it's kind of like buying a new house, right? So you see this new house, you go, you view it, and it's amazing and it's beautiful and you're really excited and you're all for it, and so you sign up and you say, yes, I'm all for this house, I'm going to buy this house, I'm going to invest in this house, and so you do. So in a way, you sign this contract, so to speak, and you have this new property, you have this new house, and away you go to start your exploration journey and voyage in this new house. And it's the same with the soul as well. So it signs up, but then you find out that once you have moved into another level of being, or once you've moved into the house analogy, you will find that perhaps there are a few pipes that are broken, perhaps the electricity is faulty, perhaps there's mold, and so there's all these hidden things that were not in your contract that now need to be dealt with. So this is the same as how new souls are recruited into the reincarnation matrix. Okay, so you sign up those papers and there you go, you are in it. So you stay in it and you keep doing it until you find that there are other solutions. So this is how new souls are put into the reincarnation matrix or reincarnation cycle. This is how they are recruited. The next question was something along the lines of, as a human race, soul origins and genetic DNA origins, where does all of that come from? Well, for each individual soul, it's a very different story. Okay, so each soul has a DNA lineage that is coming from the astrogenetic point, and that could be related to many star systems. We're not talking about so much about the genetic DNA, which is also a part of it, but the astrogenetic esoteric aspect of it, our starseed origins, if you like. This is where our DNA actually originates from, and for every individual it could be a different star system, a different planet, a different set of soul codes that are related to spirit family and soul families. So it's not a one answer fits all, And unfortunately, this tends to be one of my answers to a lot of students' questions, that it's not a one answer fits all scenario. But that is how it goes. Soul origins, human race, genetic DNA origins originate from different star systems and different soul families and different spirit families also. The next question was what happens if we all go back to primary source? Now, this is a very fascinating question because, first of all, when we come to this planet or go to other planets or become physical, let's say, or we leave this planet or other physical planets and go back, we don't always go right back directly to the primary source directive from where it is that we arose. We could say that we go back perhaps to different pockets or areas of reality and different dimensional realities, and the places that we go to largely depend on the lessons that we have learned through our physical experience. Okay, so depending on all of the stuff that we have learned will determine to which dimensional reality we will relocate to after physical life experience. Now, let's just say then that we have indeed learned all of our lessons and we do go right back to the primary source directive. If that is the case, it would mean that we probably passed the majority of the lessons that we are needing to go through in order to upgrade the physical experience and in order to upgrade the primary source directive itself. That's when we are going to relocate to it. And it's not going to happen all at once, obviously, because we are all operating at different timelines. Some of us are operating by time lines, time, space, time. So we're all going at different levels. But if hypothetically, excuse me, we did all go back, you know, for the sake of answering the question, that we did all go back, then it would really mean that it would be more of a kind of utopia kind of situation. Yeah, it would mean that we could create and co-create in a much more conscious manner, and not because we have been recycled, not because we have been tampered with other beings, or we have been co-opted, or because our DNA has been messed with, not because of any of those reasons. So it would mean that we would be at let's say a more advanced level of consciousness and understanding, which means that it would be a truly organic and completely free will choice if we did want to come back to a place of physical manifestation, but perhaps we wouldn't. So the answer is that you would be able to create or co-create completely from a free will standpoint and viewpoint. We think that we're doing that now, but we are not exactly. Okay, we are not exactly free will beings because we have been manipulated and tampered with at different levels. So this is what would happen if we all went back to the primary source directive. Another question was related to all of the moon controversies. And one of the questions was if there are beings that live on the dark side of the moon, do they have physical bodies? Now, I just want to remind you that all of the answers to these questions are from a primary source kind of intuitive reception. Hey Ange, how you doing, darling? Lovely to see you, hun. And so do they have physical bodies, you know, on the darker side of the moon? From an intuitive perspective, the answer is no. It feels like if there are beings that are residing on the darker side of the moon, thanks for inviting your followers, and I really do appreciate it, darling. Hope that you're well. That it would be more of a kind of an ethereal situation, that they wouldn't have physical bodies, in fact. So this is what came through as an intuitive reception. And the next question is is Lucifer and Satan the same entity? So this is an interesting one. It's also a very big question, guys. But in a nutshell, the answer is no. It is not the same entity. Lucifer and Satan, in fact, are different entities. And the reason why it has been very much misconstrued is because there is a lot of misconstrued analogy through our sacred texts, okay, and biblical history and all of the rest of it. And so because of all of the confusion there, and because of all of the misinterpretation of what's there also, then this has led many to believe in the collective consciousness that Lucifer and Satan are the same entity. But in fact they are not. Of course, it's all part of our psyche as well, but if we're talking in terms of esoterica and metaphysics, they are indeed separate and not the same entities. Angel darling, thanks so much for all of the hearts. Right back at ya. Love you loads, hun. So I think the final question is, because I'm running out of time here as well, because I've got a session very shortly, is I was asked to explain the process of ascension. Now this is a very large question, and it would have to be a video clip in and of its own. Thank you, darling. Yes, it is a very interesting topic. So the process of ascension is, again, as I said before, it's not a one glove fits all scenario. The process of ascension is very much dependent and reliant on what it is that you are learning, the voyages and avenues that you are taking in order to expand your own consciousness. It all largely depends on that, and so it's not the same journey. And no, we do not all end up in the same place, whatever the journey is. I mean, we do at the end of the day, we will all end up at the primary source directive at some point. But during the journey itself, no, it's not the same. Depending on what it is you do and what it is that you learn and the seeds that you plant, you will be creating different experiences. So the journey is unique unto your own experience. Okay, so guys, I'd like to say with that, thank you very much for being here. Sharing is caring. Do share it on. Thank you for the hearts. Do follow if you are not following. I'm trying Instagram and I don't know what I'm doing over there, but I'm giving it a lash, so you can join me over there if you want to. Facebook, blessings to you, darling. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou, and I'm also around on Facebook too. So I'll catch you again real soon. Take care, and don't forget to nip over to Facebook to check out all of my archive over there as well. Lots of love to you. May the primary source always be the guiding truth, the immutable truth that is with you, and I'll be with you again real soon. Your life is the miracle frequency. It's the name of my book. Check it out on Amazon. Thanks for being here. Ciao. Kisses.